Okay, so now I want to create the edit component on here. So if I go into my components and create a new file named edit.tsx and rfce in here. So now if I save all, and I also need to import the edit component into the information component. So we, instead of the p tag, we will now want to render the edit component. So this is just going to be replaced with edit, and that is imported from /edit like so. And now if I save and go back into my edit component, so in here we have three elements. We have a label, a text area, and a button. So I'm just going to bring them in. So first off, we have a div with the class name of edit, and in here we have a label also, and I'm just going to remove this for now and just put in, please enter the hotel description below. So bring this in. So now we have a label rendering, please enter the description below. We also need a text area, so that is also here, and I'm going to put this as required, as we will be doing with all the fields. And this text area will be just the name of description, and the ID will also be description, and we don't need to worry about the column or the rows on here. Now if I save, we have a text area here that gets expanded also, and then finally we have a button, and that will say update hotel, and it also has a class name of update button. So if I just copy that, add that in here as well. Then now you can see the UI is rendering. We just need to hook it up to the state. So what I want to do is when I click the update hotel button, we then want to close the edit description back down. So we need to receive props in for that. So the first prop we want to receive is, in going back into my information, is the edit description, because then that way we can tell what the state is for edit description, whether it's open or closed. And then we also want to do the set edit description as well as a prop. So set edit description is equal to set edit description. And then we need to receive these props in here. So edit description and set edit description. So now all we need to do is declare an interface for this. So iProps like so. And for now, I'm going to create the interface for iProps at the top and bring these in here. And these are going to have a class of, or a type of any. And actually, we already know that the edit description is going to be a Boolean value, so I'll just keep that in there like so. And we need to use the edit description. So when I click the button, so on click, I'm going to render a function in here. So on click is equal to an anonymous function in here. And this function is going to be called handle update, which I need to create above. So just before my return, I'm going to create a function called handle update, which is an arrow function. And when I click on it, I want to toggle the edit description back to the wherever the state is. So this time it should be false. So if I just copy and bring this in, I want to set edit description to the opposite of edit description in here. So now if I save and click update hotel, it closes it off. What I also want to do is I want to update the hotel. So this will update hotel. And we also want to navigate back to the home page. So I'll just add these comments in here. So now what I also want to do is whatever I type into this text box, once I click update hotel, I want to send these changes to our database and updates and replaces this description over here. So in my text area, I now need to give it a value, and I also need to give it an onChange method. So add that in here, and the value for this is going to be equal to state. So I'm going to create that now. So const new description and set new description. So these are the new values that are going to be created when we type into our text box. is equal to useState of an empty string, and we also need to import useState from React. So the value for our text box now is going to be the new description, and then we also need the onChange. So onChange is equal to an event, so e. So essentially what we want to do is set the new description to e.target.value. So essentially when we click the update hotel button here, we essentially want to get a snapshot of whatever is in here and pass that in as the value to the database. So what I also want to do is give this a type. So the way to find out the type for set edit description is if I go into the information component, and where I have set edit description, as you can see here, if I hover over it, it gives me a type. So I just need to copy this and go back into my edit component and paste that in here. So now we have the correct type for this. So a React dispatch and set state action of a Boolean in here. So in terms of the UI, that is pretty much everything complete. I also need to add the new hotels form in here. So we need to do that next. And then once that's done, we are going to connect and update our controller file to add all our CRUD methods on. So next, what we are going to do is create the create component form. So that will have the form similar to this one. And then when we click add hotel, it would add a new document to our database.